All right, here we are, Thursday night porch picking party with Patrick Henry, and we've been kind of off schedule the last couple weeks. Uh, just had things going on. Things are starting to open up a little bit, although we are staying socially distanced. We've been having it's just not as easy to maintain a schedule, but here we are back because I had a lot of people say, "Where were you?" And so I'm glad to be here. I want to wait until some people post to make sure that we're on and can be heard. So, first people.
Mississippi? Where'd you go? Mississippi, Alabama?
Hey, Janet. Hey, Katrina. So, can everybody hear us okay? Hi, Marilyn. Looks like, hello. Looks like we can be heard. So, I know if we can't be heard, people will certainly tell us. So, yeah, I wasn't in Mississippi. I went down to Alabama. I'm part of a new startup company. We're got some exciting things going on, and I'll let everybody know once we're up and running. But so I've been down in Mobile area, Fairhope, with some good friends, Yusuf and my new buddy Lonnie. And so anyway, we got kind of a theme this week, grandfather theme. Been thinking a lot about my granddad lately, and so want to play some songs that I wrote about my grandfather. If anybody's heard me sing this song before, you've heard me introduce it by saying that my grandfather was what I affectionately called the grumpy old man. And I know a lot of you out there know a grumpy old man. Some of you may be married to a grumpy old man. But my grandfather was a Texan. And so he didn't say a lot, but when he did, that's when I really listened because I knew he was going to say something important, which is why I went to him when I got engaged to be married. And I said, "Granddad, do you have any advice for me?" And he sat back and he smiled and he said, "Yeah, son, I do." He said, "I've traveled the world as a sailor, as a soldier." He said, "I'm 91 years old. I've seen a lot." He said, "Son, in no place I've ever been, no person I've ever met, have I ever heard about a husband being shot by his wife while he was cleaning the house." And that's advice that I've taken for the last 16 years. So this song's from my granddad, for my granddad. Well, Bill Jackson was the hardest working man I'd ever known. 6 days a week you'd find him out there in between the rows. Sundays came, he'd grab the plow. Then he'd count on callous fingers all the things he loved the best. Like his family and his favorite dog, a T-bone steak cooked rare, his tractor and his pickup truck, well-worn rocking chair. 3 old friends he's counted on to help him through the years. That's Jesus Christ, Hank Williams, and John Deere. I can see Jeannie having a heart attack over there because I forgot a couple of words. But he'd tell you Jesus saved his soul and John Deere built the farm. Hank Williams somehow sang things kept hidden in his heart. He'd say it was a crazy world out there beyond his fence. Then he'd count on callous fingers all the things that made some sense. Like his family and his favorite dog, a T-bone steak cooked rare, his tractor and his pickup truck, well-worn rocking chair. 3 old friends he's counted on to help him through the years. That's Jesus Christ, Hank Williams, and John Deere. Well, I don't expect I'm ever gonna fill Bill Jackson's shoes, and I ain't sure that he'd agree with everything I do. But all the things he taught me still go with me down the line. Oh, and as I look around me, I feel Grandpa by my side. In my family and my favorite dog, this T-bone steak cooked rare, my tractor and my pickup truck, his old rocking chair. 3 old friends I'm counting on to help me through the years. That's Jesus Christ, Hank Williams, and John Deere. And the friends he introduced me to help me through the years. That's Jesus Christ, Hank Williams, Earl Haggard and the Possum, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, and John Deere. Thank you so much. Some of you, my mother, if she's watching this, is probably thinking, oh my gosh, he needs to shave. I'm growing my Christmas beard early this year. And so I don't know how long it's going to get. Every year I try to grow a beard. It gets to a point where I like it. Then all of a sudden I wake up and I can't stand it anymore and it disappears. So this has been a couple weeks now. So get used to it. Want to play you a song that I wrote with a good friend of mine named John Greenenbaum. John and I were friends in Nashville, and he had a lot of success as a songwriter, and we sat down and we wrote a few songs together. And this is a song that we wrote kind of with both of our granddads in mind. He looked older than an oak tree, like a Rockwell on worn canvas. He'd seen the 7 wonders, but to us he was just Grandpa. His front porch was our classroom. Time-worn stories were the lessons. His pipe is long grown cold now, but his words still linger with us. He'd say, stand tall, but don't you be too proud to bow your head. Walk hand in hand with greatness, and you'll never be misled. Shoot for the moon, and you'll land among the stars. Never lose sight of who you are, for you may never pass this way again. So when you fly, leave your footprints on the wind. Well, I've never touched the heavens, but I'm from a line of flyers who dare to spend their lifetimes with no net beneath the wires. Now my own life lay before me, and I'll climb out on that limb. His words will be my compass as I set off on the wind. Say, stand tall, but don't you be too proud to bow your head. Walk hand in hand with greatness, and you'll never be misled. Shoot for the moon, and you'll land among the stars. Never lose sight of who you are, for we may never pass this way again. So when you fly, leave your footprints on the wind. You may never pass this way again. So when you fly, leave your footprints on the wind. Oh, thank you.
Some people are asking if you have an update on the dance.
Thank you for asking about that. So if you've watched me in the last few weeks, you've heard me talking about the dance. Leslie and I danced in a competition. It was a charity fundraiser for Little Pink Houses of Hope. And we danced. We pre-recorded all of our dances. It was very funny. And we did not win. But that's okay. The person who won raised a lot of money. But we had a great showing, and I appreciate all of those who contributed. You've really given to a good cause. And if anybody wants to see the dance, go to littlepink.org/watch. littlepink.org/watch, and you can still watch it. And if you still want to give, you're still able to give, although it will not go to us winning. But thank you for participating with us and joining us on that journey.
Are you saying that your winner was selected on the amount of donations, not the ability to dance?
That's right. The winner was selected on the amount of donations. Otherwise, we surely would have won if it was simply off of talent. Actually, what's funny is, and Leslie, I'm glad she's not here to hear me say this again, but we had a watch party where we had a socially distanced watch party where we had a big screen and it was broadcast on the screen and we watched. And afterwards, I must have had 3 or 4 people come up to me and said, "My gosh, wasn't Leslie wonderful? She did so good. We are so proud of her." And I'm proud of her too, because she really did a great job. But I had to remind them that I was on that stage too. But they said, "Patrick, we see you on stage all the time." So I'm here to say publicly, I'm very proud of my wife. She really added some class to our portion of the event. So I want to play a final song. Thank you for saying that, Diana Newman. I appreciate it. Donna, you saw the dance, so that was good. So I want to play one more song for you, and it's a song that I'm really proud of. I wrote it with a friend named Tim Bays, and it's just a song that I don't get to play a lot publicly, but I think it's worth it. And it talks about some things that mean a lot to me. And I think my mother is probably one of the most, I don't want to say religious people I know, because that's not a bad thing. She is a Christian, and she is steeped in her faith. And if there's one person I've ever met who gives her a run for her money, it's the woman we're having on our show on Saturday right here on the back porch, Glenna Salisbury. She lives out in Arizona, and she is in town visiting her grandson, who is a student at Elon. And she is one of my favorite people in the whole world. And so we're going to have her, and Jeannie's got a lot of great stories about Glenna, and you're going to really enjoy seeing her at noon Eastern time on Jeannie's Facebook page or her YouTube channel. So I want to play this song in honor of Glenna and also in honor of my mother. He held tight to that hickory bat as he narrowed his brow. One more down the middle, and he'd be struck out. He stepped back and pointed to the center field stands. Stepped in with a smile, crowd growing wild, 'cause the babe was their man. He stood there before them, going against the grain, just a working class hero, and we still call his name. God gave him a purpose, yeah, now that's understood. Oh, how he changed history with his hands on the wood. He played an old spruce top guitar, sang those high lonesome songs. His eyes told his story. It didn't last too long. From the stage of the Opry to the honky-tonk bars. Hank may be gone, but the music shines on from that fallen star. He stood there before them, going against the grain, just a working class hero, and we still call his name. God gave him a purpose, yeah, now that's understood. How he changed history with his hands on the wood. He hung there not saying a word above the jeers of the crowd. Asked God to forgive them as his tears fell down. He prayed for his children and he prayed for the lost. With the heart of a man, but the blood of the lamb on that old wooden cross. He hung there before them, whoa, going against the grain, just a working class hero, and we still praise his name. God gave him a purpose, yeah, now that's understood. How he changed history with his hands on the wood. How he made history with his hands on the wood. Thank you. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm starting to get some great comments about the beard, and I really appreciate that. So I'll play those back to my mother-in-law when she complains about my beard. But anyway, thank you for joining us here on the back porch for Thursday night porch picking, and hopefully we'll be back next week. But definitely join us, Jeannie Robertson, live from the back porch at 12 noon Eastern time on Saturday. We'll probably be fighting with some football games, but we will have a good time, and we have a second to none guest. Glenna Salisbury is just one of the most lovely people I've ever known, and she's going to be joining us. So join us here at 12 noon, and we will see you on Saturday. Thank you. Hit fade to black. One more.